Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we will be covering about Google Calendar integration with MuleSoft. So to start with, I will first give some introduction to Google Calendar, what it is all about, how we can make use of Google Calendar API, and then we will make some demos using the Google Calendar connector, which is available in Anypoint MuleSoft Studio. So before I start onto the Google Calendar, there is an interesting thing which happened over the weekend. So there is a latest release of Anypoint Studio, which is being recently launched by MuleSoft product team, and there are some like good to have changes, not such mandatory, or you can say anything pressing result coming out of it, but long time pending requirements were there, like MFA and all those things. Those are being implemented within the Anypoint Studio release. So just to show you, if I go to the help and maybe check what's new in Anypoint Studio, you will see the latest version is 7.12.0, and there is a MFA multi-factor authentication that is being enabled through built-in Studio browser as well. So whenever you try to connect to Anypoint platform, you can now use your MFA settings as well, which you should have enabled on platform as well. In case you want to know more about MFA, there is a video which I have already uploaded on YouTube. I will give the link to the same in the description of this particular video. Just check it out, and it's a good thing. Like MFA is like one extra security feature on Anypoint platform login. So this is a new thing. And the second one was the comments which are being added onto the flow level itself. So with a right click, as you can see, toggle comment, and it will comment out the respective connector. Next thing is about the comprehensive publication. So you can put some tags while uploading any artifact to Anypoint platform, along with the categories, and the rest of the thing talk about the regular stuff. So I will remove this anonymous analytics. I don't want to share that further details from my operating system, and I will continue to the studio. So that was a very brief about the new version of Anypoint Studio, that is 7.12. Now let's go into the console.google.com, which is the API explorer, which is having all those details over different APIs offered by Google Cloud, that is GCP. So this is the Google Cloud platform, and I have created one of the project over here. So if you are not familiar with GCP Console as such, you have to create a login on console.cloud.google.com, and something will come up like this, and you have to click on new project. Once you click on new project, you can put details like project name, and if there is any organization which you want to refer, so it will come up like that. Since I have already created a similar project, so it is coming in the drop down, or you can select from here. Now the next thing is like we need to enable the calendar API. So how to do that? Make sure you have selected the API tutorials, and after that you have to select API and services, go to the library, and here you have to search for the respective API which you want to explore. So like this, in this particular case, I want to check for calendar API. So these are two different APIs for calendars. Second one is for CalDev. It is more onto the WebDev format, or it was a previous, or you can say a legacy protocol which they were using, but I have created this demo to use this new and the latest Google Calendar API. So just click on it. So in your case, it will give the option to enable the API. Just click on the enable API, and after that it will be it will be status will be changed to API enabled. It gives an option to try this API as well. So if you click on this, it will give the different details about the calendar API. So basically it talks about the resource API, the resource summary, what all different types of resources are available, and after that the categorization of it, like ACLs, access control list, calendar list, list of calendars, basically simple calendars, channels, colors as in the color of the specific meeting which you have scheduled, events could be a meeting, day long meeting, recurring meetings, free and busy status of a particular user, if you want to see the calendar, if he or she is available at a particular point of time or not, and settings on the regular stuff for, like if you want to make some more details, like you want to add hangout details, date field order, different, like more onto the settings part of the calendar. Okay, so this just to give an example, if I go to the list under the events, you can fill all these details and hit the execute button. You have to select either of these two. In our example, I have used this Google Auth 2.0. You can use API key as well, but either of these are okay. Now coming back to the project again. Within the main project, this is the dashboard, and I am just clicking on this breadcrumb, and I am an admin on this API services. Go to the credentials. So I have created a OAuth 2.0 client ID, and what you need to do for that is like just click on create credentials. It will give the option of API key, which I have shown you on this particular tab, right? Google Auth 2.0 and API key options. So similarly here, but in this particular use case, I have selected this OAuth client ID. So once you have selected that thing, you have to give the name of your OAuth 2.0 client ID name, and after that something like this will appear. Yeah, so you have to give the authorized redirect URI. So this will be used for OAuth dance mechanism, and the client ID and client secret will be generated as soon as you click on this save button, or maybe create button will be there on the first instance. Okay, you can even download the JSON which will capture this client ID, secret and creation date, or you can copy paste directly from here as well. Anything is okay. Okay, now the next thing is, let's go to the OAuth consent screen. Okay, so you have to mention the users over here. You can just click on add users, and you can put the email ID, and that's it. Okay, and I just want to show one more thing quickly. It's not giving me that option as of now, but I will come back to that as well. Okay, so this was pretty much what we need to do. Now from here you just need to capture the client ID and client secret, because this will be required in our connector configuration as well. Just create a new project in Anypoint Studio, right click, new, click on Mule project. You can give the name of the project, like I have given Google Calendar. Select the available Mule runtime. This particular video is being created using 4.4.0 Enterprise Edition Mule server, that is Mule runtime. But you have the option to select anything greater than 4.0 should be okay with this particular use case. So once that is done, you need to add the Google Calendar connector. So how to do that? Just click on this search in Exchange. My session is expired somehow. Yeah. So just you need to provide the credentials over here. So we are good now, and just type in here the word calendar. So just select this one and put it on the right hand side and click on finish. You can select the appropriate version as well, but for this particular use case I have selected the latest and the greatest available version. So once it is being done, this connector will come up over here and all these different functions will get populated. Now just have a look on this particular connector. It contains ACL related functions. It is having some calendar list related functions. You can have some function related to calendars. You can have insert, get, list, patch, update, whatever you want. Colors, channels, and then event related things. There is one for free, busy, and these are for settings like get, list, and watch. Unauthorized, if you want to unauthorize the flow to use the credentials which you have configured. This is just as a cleanup, you can say. So when it is being set to unauthorized, this particular flow will not be able to use the APIs on the credentials which are being set up in console. On updated event trigger, it will be a starter process. So as soon as a new event is being updated, the flow will be triggered. Now based on this, I have created some couple of configuration files for ACL, calendar, calendar list, event, and settings. So let's quickly talk about the event first. So the first one is for the event list. So what you have to do for this is just drag and drop this event list somewhere from here onto the canvas and put a listener. This listener okay, I have used /events. You can put any path as per your requirement, and the connector configuration for HTTP is by default 8081. And I will go back over here. Event list, you have to configure some couple of things over here. So first thing first, that will be used again and again within this particular project is connector configuration. You have to just click on this plus sign and it will come up like this, and you have to fill some couple of things over here. So let me quickly show you that thing. So consumer key is same as good as the client ID. This is the client secret. Authorization URL will remain same. Access token will remain same, auto populated. Scopes, so let me copy paste and take this out. I'm just trying to show you the scopes or the permissions which are being set up with this particular configuration connector. So one is the read only for the calendar, for the events read only, and the last for the settings. So 5 different permissions I have already provided with as a part of this scope. Then you have to configure this external callback URL, that is the redirect URI which we have set at the time of OAuth to client ID setup in console. So same you have to do. You have to pass the authorized path and the callback path as well. For listener config, you can provide the HTTP listener config itself, the one which we have already set up, and the object store is the regular one. This is just for persisting the object entries and putting it for some time, and expiration interval is of 1 minute. For the configuration reference object store config, what I have done is for the you can have this reconnection strategy as a standard. So what it does as a part of standard is like it tries to reconnect after every 2 seconds. So 2000 milliseconds reconnection attempts too, but not required, so I have set it as it is. Now coming back to the flow again, there is a transform message which I have put down, which will basically just convert the payload into the JSON format, and there is a logger, simple logger. Some couple of things as well you need to set up while configuring it. The calendar ID is one of the important thing. So calendar ID is the same ID which we have set up in your console window as well. So same mail ID you need to configure, and rest of things are optional. But if you want to know more about this, I will suggest to go through the standard API documentation which is available on API Explorer of Google. So once this is being set up, I have started this Mule runtime already, and I will go to my Postman. Okay, and this is the same path which I have configured. Let's hit on the send button. So you can see there is some ID returned as status as confirmed. There is something scheduled, was scheduled for 22nd of March with summary of Google I/O 2022 and description, location, and all the things. Okay, there is a date time and date time as well which is being mentioned over here. Attendees you can mention if required, because this is already being created. So let me show you how it look like in the calendar, Google Calendar as well. So what I will do, Google Calendar, it will take couple of seconds to load. Okay, so let me go back and look out for 22nd. So you can see this was being created and one guest is awaiting, so all the things are being already set up. So if I go to edit, you can see the location. So let me try to just compare all the things from here. So location, just try to trace these two particular screens of Postman and the Google console. So same location is over here. Email notification and all the things are coming up. This is the description part of it. So it is a chance to hear more about developer products. Okay, and what is this? This is the attendee email ID. You can specify the permissions as well. So this was already created. I have just tried to list it from here. Okay, so this was particular for this event list. Let's try to add a quick event again. So what you have to do, you have to just drag and drop this event quick add onto the canvas, put a HTTP listener in front of it and a logger as optional. So what you have to do for the events quick add is you have to just specify the calendar ID. Okay, and there is a payload text as well. I will show you how it will look like, and same connector we will be using. So it's the events quick add. I will go back to my Postman and I will look out for this quick meeting. It's a post method and calendar ID and text is quick meeting. So try to understand what is a quick meeting. Quick meeting is like you just want to create it right away. So let's do it. It has created right away on 5th of April today. Okay, and creator details are there. Date, time zone, start and end. 11:36 it has started and it is supposed to end after 1 hour, that is 12:36, and that's it. Now let's go to the calendar. I will go to today. So now it is showing the quick meeting. Okay, so that was the idea of using the event quick meeting, quick add. Now let's suppose if you want to update something on this event itself. Okay, so let's go back over here and just select this one. I'm just replacing the event ID and the payload will be there. Okay, so let me save this. As soon as you save the project, this will recompile the code and runtime will be restarted in a moment. So this is for the event update. You have to specify the body. So what I want to do, I want to change to 05 04 05, that is today, and hello from past and something like that. Hello quick meeting. Okay, let's see, everything is good over here, and let's try to hit the button, send button. So summary is now changed to hello quick meeting. Let's go back to our calendar and let's see. Yeah, so here you can see earlier it was somewhere 11:36 to 12:36 p.m. Now it's being shifted to the other time with the heading changes to hello quick meeting. So similarly you can change some more attributes to it. Different things can be added over here. To know more about it, I will advise you to check out the event update, and you can see the different parameters available over here, like and start and all the things. As a part of request body, you can add additional guest. There are lot many things which can be added, even the colors and all the things you can do. Okay, so this was about the event update as well, and let's try to delete this one as well. So you have to specify the calendar ID and event ID. So it's already started, and let's try to remove this event ID itself. Okay, so I will go to events, delete, go to the body, I will go over here, replace this, click on the send button, and let's wait for the response. 200. Okay, let's see what does our calendar shows. So oh, it's gone, right? So event delete, this is how you can delete any meeting. Okay, now let's go back to Anypoint Studio again. So we have covered event list, event delete, event instances, quick add, update we have done. So let's try to even insert a new event. Let's see how it get populated. So in order to create this particular flow, just set up listener, then a transform message. This transform message is as per in sync with event insert. So there is a trick around it. Just drag and drop event insert from this side to the canvas, and after that put a transform message in front of it. So what it will do, it will create the structure what it is expecting. So you can accordingly create the all these message structure. So what it is trying to do, it is putting a summary, attendees, mail ID and all the things, start and end time along with description and the location, and then it will put it into the event insert. You have to specify the calendar ID along with the payload you have to mention, and I am using the same connector configuration. After that there is a simple logger, and I am just putting events get so that I can see at least what it is coming out of it, right? For calendar ID, I have mentioned the organizer.email, which is coming out of this particular event insert response, and a ID of it. Okay, so let's do it. Event insert, I will go back to the postman and events insert. There is a body. I will change to maybe 6th 4 4:06. There is a time zone which you can add. Let's go with the same thing. I don't want to do many other changes. You can, if required, you can make a change on summary, description, location, whatever you require as per your requirements. So let's hit the send button. I got something. So this thing coming out of it is the get response. Okay, so let me show you on the calendar, and you can see on 6th we have set up this particular event. How does it look like on the logging side of it? Single logger we have pasted, and it is capturing the response of event insert. Okay, so this was pretty much about it, and let's see this event instances as well. Okay, I'll go back to my Postman and we'll click on event instances. There is a body, and you have to specify the event ID as well. We have just inserted an event, so let's try to take this particular event and event instances. I will replace this with this one. Click on the send button. So what it will do basically, in case you have multiple instances of the same meeting, like sort of webinar, so it will populate all those things in this particular response, event instances. So a particular event with multiple instances. In this particular example, I have used only a single occurrent meeting, so that's why a single response is coming out of it. You have to specify calendar ID, event ID, which I have already set through this body part of it, calendar ID, event ID, and rest of the things are pretty much same. You have to specify the payload as well. Yeah, payload, it look out for calendar ID and event ID, that's it. So this was, and one last thing before we end up for the events. In case anything is updated and you want to trigger based on that update, so you can use this on update event trigger. So as of now I have set it to stop, but you can of course you can set it to start it, so that as soon as there is any event change or update happen, it will trigger and rest of things can follow. As far as the configuration are being concerned, you just have to mention the calendar ID and that's it. So anything which happens on that particular calendar ID, it will be captured and it will trigger the rest of the flow logic basically. Let's go to the settings XML as well, because this one is pretty much small and we can cover up in this particular part itself. The rest, the upcoming video on Google Calendar API will cover ACL, calendar and calendar list. Definitely these are three very important ones. So let's try to understand the settings. So as I mentioned over here, settings, so get, list and watch are there. So what it does basically, so users can change calendar UI and retrieve list and get using list and get methods. So basically settings means color code, time zone, not specific to any single meeting as such, but you can even set on a general level as well. So you can go through all these documentation part as well, but let me show you what I'm trying to achieve over here. So first is the settings list. You can go to the right hand side, just click on this and drag and drop on the canvas. I'm using the same calendar configuration, and there is a transform message which I have put, which will capture the settings ID and value. I will show you what it turns out. The second flow is about for a specific setting. If you want to change or you want to manipulate, there is a colors related as well. So just need to mention the connector configuration and it will pick up the color related details. I just placed a transform message just to convert it into the JSON format. So let's try to see how it works. settings. First of all, the list is important, right? So here you go, auto add hangouts. Do you want to add hangouts URL and details within that particular email as default? So true, otherwise you can set it in false. Event length, by default the duration was set to 60 minutes, so here it goes for 60. Date field order, month, date, year. Week start, 0th, that is the first week will be started from 0 value, then 1, 2 and 3, and all the other things like locale, like if English language is being used, you want to see the declined events, so true, time zone and all the things. Hide weekends, nobody wants to have working weekends, right? So that's why hide weekends false. Okay, you can set it to true as per your requirements, right? And remind on responded events only, all the things like these are pretty much generic. Okay, so listing can be done. After that there is a settings get, so let's try to hit the second flow as well and see. Like I have set it to settings id equal to hide weekends. So for this I want to see the output of this logger first. So hide weekend was set to false, so that's why it is coming out from this settings logger, and there is a colors related to which I have called upon, right? So calendar, then id, calendar id, then their background and foreground details. So within the calendar, this is the color id, and these are the two background and foreground color which are related to this particular color id. So there are chances like you just want to mention color id as 1, so automatically this background foreground value will be set. You need not to mention these two. So these are pretty much exclusive, so either use this or use both of these. It's like that. So with this settings flow we come to the end of Google Calendar API integration with MuleSoft part 1. In our upcoming video we will cover ACL calendar and calendar list. So thanks a lot, and thanks for watching.